Good evening. It's October 3rd, 2019, and this is news for Brockport. I'm Lexie Cutmore.
And I'm Caleb Snell. Let's get it started. Classes have resumed at Honeoye Falls High School after reports of a bomb threat. The threat was written on a bathroom wall just before 10 a.m. Tuesday morning. Police were called and the school was immediately locked down. After the K-9 unit searched the school, they found that there was no bomb inside. The Monroe County Sheriff's Office is still investigating this threat to find out who is responsible.
The University of Rochester is under scrutiny and legal trouble after the legal team at the university is being charged with witness tampering. This federal lawsuit involves the handling of controversial Florian Jaeger cases. Jaeger, a brain and cognitive sciences professor, was accused of sexual misconduct in late August. Now, the university's legal team is under fire for attempting to alter testimonies of witnesses. This all stems from the original suit against the school after 9 accusers came forward accusing of Jaeger of sexual harassment. We'll keep you updated as this story continues.
A new law will make grease traps safer in Monroe County. The bill is called Bryce's Law, named after Bryce Rayner, a boy who fell into a grease trap behind a Tim Hortons in Rochester back in July. Lawmakers signed the bill on Tuesday during a tearful ceremony to prevent grease trap-related tragedies from happening again. Monroe County's Public Health Department has made plans to check grease traps at more than 530 local establishments to ensure that they're up to code.
Channel 10's meteorologist Rich Conigliaro was hospitalized last week. According to a Facebook post from Conigliaro, he had a heart attack, quote, seemingly out of the blue. He explained that his morning at Channel 10 started out just like any other day, but what started out as a small chest pain quickly progressed to a persistent pain. He was taken to Unity Hospital, where doctors discovered blockages in his arteries. Conigliaro had 2 stents put in and is in recovery. In the same Facebook post, Conigliaro said he's meeting with a cardiologist and is looking forward to being back at work as soon as possible.
The Rochester community has lost one of its iconic musicians. Pam McGrath, a member of the Rochester Music Hall of Fame, passed away Tuesday evening at the age of 73. Pam McGrath was diagnosed with cancer last December, which spread into his liver. Pam McGrath was a well-known singer and songwriter who wrote hits for Winona Judd, Come Some Rainy Day, released in 1997, Kenny Rogers' I Can Feel You Drifting, released in 2006, and Eclipse's Through It All, released in 2004. Pam McGrath chose not to endure treatment and died peacefully at his home with his wife by his side.
October is Domestic Violence Awareness Month, and different events are happening throughout Monroe County to shine some light on the issue. Willow Domestic Violence Center is hosting their annual event, Walk a Mile in Their Shoes, to honor people who have been affected by domestic violence. The event will be on October 5th at noon at Ontario Park. Now, Willow has been helping victims escape a life of emotional and physical abuse for over 40 years, and prevention advocates urge abuse survivors to call Willow at 585-428-2215.
If your cable bill seems higher than usual, that's probably because Spectrum Cable is raising their rates this month. All 3 cable packages will be going up $7.50 per month, and if you only subscribe to their internet services, those rates will be going up too, from $66 a month to $70. If you have a promotional package, this price increase won't affect you until your current deal ends. Spectrum representatives attribute this price increase to the rising cost of broadcast channels.
Well, if you're driving late at night, you might want to slow down and be on the lookout for wildlife. New York State DMV and DEC are reminding drivers to stay alert for deer and moose. Officials say the fall months are when deer and moose are most active. The DMV encourages everyone to brake as quickly as you can, and if you do hit an animal, do not approach it. Instead, the DMV recommends that you pull over, turn your hazard lights on, and call 911. Yeah, a lot of drivers have to be really careful out there. I mean, I know I personally have had quite a few deer run out in front of me this year, but I've been fortunate enough to, not have actually hit a deer.
No, same here. You can never be too cautious when it comes to being on the road with those animals. Definitely towards the more twilight hours. You really want to be on the lookout.
Right. Drivers just really have to make sure that they're being safe.
A stable of American shopping malls announced Sunday that it filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy. Fast fashion retailer Forever 21 could be closing its location at the Grease Ridge Mall. Company officials say up to 178 of its more than 800 stores will close. According to the list, It's possible the locations listed may not end up closing as the company looks to renegotiate leases and rents with landlords. The stores will operate as usual for now.
On Saturday, September 28th, the Brockport Golden Eagles took on Alfred State at the Bob Boozer Field for Brockport's homecoming. Coming into the game, Brockport held a 2-1 record, while Alfred State was sitting at 1-2. The Golden Eagles soared out to a 21-point lead by the end of the first quarter and continued their dominance, taking a 45-0 lead into half. Brockport's defense would continue its stellar performance into the second half, holding Alfred State to only 5 yards rushing and 62 total yards. The Golden Eagles would go on to win the game with a final score of 55-6. Brockport freshman Freddie June threw for 2 passing touchdowns and added another on the ground, while Jale Coad rushed for 102 yards and 2 touchdowns. The Golden Eagles will travel to take on St. John Fisher College for the annual Courage Bowl at 6 p.m. On Saturday, October 5th, the men's football team was not the only team to have a home game. The Brockport women's soccer team took on Oswego State in a SUNYAC matchup. The Golden Eagles, who entered the game with a 4-4-1 record, looked to bounce back from a loss the day before. Brockport jumped out to the lead with a goal from Cameron Pettit in the 33rd minute and took a 1-0 lead into half. Pettit would strike again on a penalty kick in the 79th minute to ice the game, which would end in a 2-0 victory for the Golden Eagles. Brockport would outshoot Oswego State 19-12 in their dominant win and look to carry that performance into the next game on Friday, October 4th at Potsdam.
Wow, Kyle, that game was just a complete blowout.
I mean, yeah, Freddie really came to play on homecoming weekend.
Yeah, they definitely looked really good. Alfred State wasn't really the greatest team, but Freddie, he performed really well, especially scoring 2 touchdowns in the air and 1 on the ground. Plus, that defense, just phenomenal.
Right. Well, thank you so much, Kyle.
Thank you.